I have been depressed for 10 years, and I'm only counting the years where I could do something about it. I really think I've been depressed my whole life. So let me begin to share my last 10 years. So around 2014, 2015, I was working a job that I was growing to dislike. I was in an environment, a culture that didn't suit me, and I was doing a job that I was growing to get really good at, but I was, my skills and my desire was growing above or out of that position. Basically, I was getting bored and I wanted something else of a challenge, something else to do. So around that time, I was looking for other jobs. I was doing that. That was keeping me occupied, but it took me so long to find another job. So I would say maybe around 2015 to all the way to 2017, I was looking for a job, looking for another place to work at, and it was so difficult. This place I was working, no, the place I was living was small, so jobs were kind of hard to come by, like really good, well-paying, quality jobs were hard to come by. So it took me a long time, but I was able to find something in the next around 2, 3 years. Like during that time, I was just feeling like, wow, like I would do this whole comparison thing of like going on LinkedIn or going on social media and seeing people that I graduated with or I graduated around the same time. And I would say, oh, this person is working here. Oh my gosh. And I'm still like just working this measly, like kind of like a entry level, like a step above entry level position. And I was like, wow, I should really be out there. And that got me more aggressive about looking for jobs. And then I would compare myself to somebody else. I would start comparing myself to people who I didn't know, who graduated the same year I did, totally different college, I think. And they were like becoming managers or they were like had senior something in their title or position title. And I was like, wow, this is kind of disheartening. Like, oh, I'm not really getting that far. And mind you, the industry that I'm working in at that time was not an industry that I liked, desire was interested in, but yeah, I was comparing myself to people who were probably very interested and motivated in what they were doing in their job, comparing them to me with something of just doing a job just so I can have financial security, pay my rent, pay my bills. And I know I didn't like my job. I knew like after a few years I needed to get out of that field because I just did it because I needed money to get me to my next destination in life. But doing all that comparison on social media, on LinkedIn, it like really destroyed my self esteem and my confidence. So like I went to this spiral. I was like, oh my gosh, I should be doing this, I should be doing that. Just doing more. Just doing more than what I was currently doing. So that led me to being in a very low energy, low motivated state. Like even though I was doing things on the side, like I was really getting to my health, really getting to my fitness, I was still really discouraged because I'm like, there's nobody wants to hire me. It took me a couple years to find another job because there were people giving me offers, but it was either less salary or it's the same thing I was doing or not. It's not even. It wasn't even worth me taking the position. So I going in doing all that, dealing with all that, going in a spiral. Like after like months in a couple of years doing that, like I slowly started to decline. Like there would be mornings where I had to wake up to go to work. I would have a whole crying episode before I go to work. Like I would wake up, I'm like, oh, it's a work day. And I start thinking about these thoughts that, the workday is going to be so boring. I'm in this environment around other people that I don't really get along with. There's a lot of like misunderstanding me. There's a lot of like people that are not like me. And I start crying like, oh, I have to get out of this bed and work because I have to pay my bill. I have to be a functioning member of society. So that's around that time I decided, oh, I think um, I need to see a therapist because these crying episodes, me feeling really down and feeling really unmotivated to do anything, happened for a while. It was like interfering with like relationships I was having, the people I was talking to, just random people I was talking to. Like I was getting irritated about things. I was getting like resentful. Like I should have done this when I was in college. I should have done that instead of go to this job. I should have went to another job. I was doing a lot of that, and it was an ongoing repetitive cycle in my brain. I was like over and over and over again. So after doing that for months and probably a couple years, I was like, I need to see a therapist. And when I saw this would be my first time seeing a therapist during this time. Um, And when I went to see her, like I was telling her like everything was going on with me. Like in the first couple of sessions, I was crying like half of the session because I just couldn't at that moment during the period when I went to go see my first therapist. Like I'm been in situations and challenges where I could get myself out of it, or I can see the positive, or I can see like a way out of like, oh, I don't feel like I want to feel. So let me try to navigate on how to get back to how I want to feel. I'm usually able to do that, but during for the past couple years prior to me seeing a therapist, I wasn't able to do that, and I didn't know how to do that. Like normally hobbies, doing like going out with friends, that would help. And for a while it did. Like I was working out, and for a long time that helped me deal with my boredom and my unmotivation at work. But like by the time I saw a therapist, all of those options were exhausted. Working out, talking to friends, doing other things, having hobbies were no longer helping me. It was just like I don't know what else to do. I'm like I need to see a third party that doesn't know me, doesn't give me like unbiased advice. So that was my motivation for seeing a therapist. So like I said, the first few sessions I was crying half the session. I was able to explain what was going on. She gave me like tools and exercises that were helpful. So and it was really good. I really appreciate it. The thing is, during my first time seeing a therapist, I think one of the first or second sessions I had with her, she did recommend me taking antidepressants, and I was not into it. I think the first session she mentioned it, and I was like, I'm not really into it. Second session, no, I was still crying. I was still like doing a lot of things, and like she's recommended antidepressants again. She was saying like being in the state that I'm in for so long, it changes the chemicals in your head. So I was like, okay, that I can kind of understand that. So I was like, okay, let me try it. I'll try antidepressants. Okay, cool. So I tried that. So I would say for like 2017 to like a couple years later, I was on antidepressants. So this first therapist I saw her for like a year, and then near the end of that year, I was able to find another job. So that first job, where I was like bored and trying to find hobbies, do other stuff, I left that job and found another job. So I was like, okay, this is cool. Finally, I was able to find a job. And I took a break from seeing her that therapist. I took a break from seeing her because I was like, okay, I gotta get my insurance information figured out because they told me it would take a couple of days for it to figure out, and I can go back to her. But like after like starting my job, after like I was on the antidepressants, I was like using the tools that she helped me with. I never called her back, and that was intentional. Like after a couple weeks, a couple months, I was like, I think I want to find another therapist. I want to find a therapist that looked like me, that had like more of a cultural background or knowledge of me, and like being a woman in the work, a black woman in the workplace. So I didn't call her back. She did reach out to me, but I didn't call her back, unfortunately. Oops. But yeah, my goal was to find another therapist. So while I was transitioning to a new job, waiting for my insurance to kick in and all that stuff, I was like, I was doing good. I was feeling more confident. Like finally, I was in the position that I wanted, pretty much, and I was learning things. I was really challenged. And I like that. Like for the first 6 months, I was like, oh, okay, I'm learning new things. That's what I want to do. I wanted to learn I wanted to learn a certain level of information within that industry so I can leave it and start my own business. And I was like, oh, this is going to be the job that does it. So like, yes, thank you. This is what I wanted. So I was excited. I um a lot of my like hobbies and passions, I kind of fell off um, during the time of seeing my first therapist and transitioning to this other job, and um, getting my footing and getting comfortable, a lot of things fell off. Like me working out consistently fell off. Hobbies, a lot of things I had to do for fun fell off. But I was slowly trying to get it back. So fast forward about like 4 years from starting that first job, or maybe 4 years. I I've been on the antidepressants the whole time. So like so about 3 to 4 years after starting that new job, I was still on antidepressants. And after a while, I was just like, I think it was for a couple of weeks, a couple of months, I was like, I don't know about these antidepressants. I've been on them for a while. I was doing good. I was feeling like I was stable. Like my emotions were like kind of okay. I mean, I would still have like emotions and stuff, reactions, but I could feel that like a lot of reactions and things I should be feeling were like kind of suppressed. I feel a little numb. And then like one day I just randomly was like, I'm going to stop taking these antidepressants. And I did it. And my intention was to wing myself off of it, but I didn't. I started for like 2 or 3 days, and I was like, I don't want this anymore. So I had to stop. And then and a little bit after that, like so a little bit after stopping my antidepressants, I started to feel like, oh, I feel like I have some type of like feeling in me, like emotions in me. Like I was feeling like it's hard for me to explain because I was having emotions and feelings before, but it wasn't like it's very suppressed. And then like after getting off, stopped taking the antidepressants, they were more amplified, like to a level of like, oh, this is how I remember when I was happy and it was at this level instead of being happy at this level, or I was sad, or I was like angry. Like it's like a normal level of like a human emotion. That's the best way I can think of it right now. So I'm in this other job. I'm off antidepressants. So I started to feel like, oh, I can like really heal some of like the problems or issues I had from a couple years prior. Like I can heal like my comparison. I can heal me my confidence, like increase my confidence again and increase my self esteem. And for a while I was doing that. It was I mean, it was going up and down, you know. Where I'm a human and that happens. So it was going up and down, but I was doing a good job in my opinion in healing. So there was a lot of life situations happening. So like depending on what's going on, I would handle them okay. And but like it was still kind of hard, like internally, mentally, physically. It was um it was kind of hard to handle certain situations, but I was able to get through them. Like a lot of financial like stability, like it took me a while to get to where I wanted to be. Family issues, like that took a while to get to where I wanted to be. And like during this time I was studying to take a certification for my industry, my career field, even though I knew I wanted to get out, but like I tried other routes and it wasn't working. Um, actually, I wrote a series on that is on my Substack, and you can read all about it. But I went through a period of time where I was trying different things to like figure out what I want to do in life because I knew the job I was currently in, I wasn't going to be doing that for the rest of my life. So, but even though like I was studying to get certification in my career field so that I can like be like a consultant coach type situation. And that was intense. It brought up a lot of um it brought up a lot of memories or muscle memory from when I was younger as a child of that like not being able to like do as well in school or on tests and things, not being able to do well in school or do well on tests. So like it was bringing up a lot of like negative feelings, negative emotions, and but I was still very confident like I could really do well on this exam, which I kind of did. I forgot what the exact score was, but I know the passing, I was 20 points under the passing, the number to pass. And I was like, oh, just my luck. And that brought up like, oh, I'm not good enough. I'm always so close, so close to meeting the expectation, meeting the goal. I just can't get it. It brought up a lot of that, but um, I was so close to pass, but I just didn't do it. And I was going to retake the test again, but like it was so exhausting, and that really burned me out. Like studying for that exam, I studied for a year and a month for that exam, and I was so close to passing. I was 20 points from passing. And it really did frustrate me, but I was like, you know, that happens. We have multiple chances to take this exam. There was a chance that was going to happen. And honestly, to me, it just proved, oh, you are able to study on your own, Megan. It's just, you just need an extra push. I got tutors, to help me out, but, um, yeah, I got tutors that helped me out, but like after a couple months, other things were going on, and it just, I just really felt like maybe this isn't the route. Like, eve at some point down the line, I just let go of that desire to get that certification because I really thought about it and I realized that I decided not to continue with the certification because I realized that's not what I wanted to do. Like, even though I was taking the certification to eventually be a consultant or be a coach within that field, I didn't want to do that field. So I just decided I'll just let go of that desire, that idea or dream to do or pass the certification. So fast forward to currently, I in the last 2 years I've gotten a new job, and I also relocated for this job. And I relocated to a city that I thought I actually wanted to live in probably back in like 2017, 2016. And so when I got the job offer, I was excited. Um I will add that in the last 4 years, I have decided that I want to move in another area of the country that is nowhere close to where I'm living now. But I was like, you know what? I can try it. Sometimes I come up with ideas in my head, and sometimes ideas work for me, sometimes they don't. So I'm like, just try it and see what happens. But in the last 2 years, I'm like, I don't feel like this is for me. Something about this area, this doesn't feel like it's it. Doesn't feel like it's my last destination. It doesn't feel like this is where I should settle. And also, the crime is so bad that I was like, there's no way I'm going to be here, because I understand that in the United States, crime is horrible. I understand that. But I've never been in an area where I will walk out my front door and there will be a crime scene there. That's not something I'm used to. So that was a shocker for me. Let's start first with my job. My job, I was very excited when I got the job offer, and very excited about learning about my position and my role. When I started it, I felt a little off. I was like, okay, well, it's something new. So sometimes when you do new things, it's going to feel off. I would say about 6 months into my job, starting my new job I currently have, I was like, I need to quit. But I knew, oh, this is not for me. Like, there within my field, there's like, different roles, of course. And the role that I currently have, I have no desire in. I realized that the job I have, I remember taking classes for it in when I was at university. And I hated those classes. And I was like, I don't ever want to do this. I don't like it. I'm not good at it. And I'm like, I don't want to do this. So during the course of me relocating and having this new job, like there's a lot of things happening with me. Like I started immediately getting very uncomfortable. Like I would say like a month and a half, maybe a month and a week actually, of moving to this new city. I was I started seeing very big signs that this is not a place for me. I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel comfortable. Um, I felt like how I was used to cities or towns operating in the United States. This city does not operate like that. The energy is very negative and very like standoffish and very like, we don't want outsiders. And I felt that, and I was like, I'm not used to that. So, and I mean, I took the hint. I was like, okay, whatever. So I was like, I'm just not connecting. Like I am doing things. I am going out there. I'm one of those people that go out and I explore cities when I visit for work, for pleasure, whenever I explore cities. So that's what I did. And it was just so similar to the city. Is so similar to where I was living before I relocated, but it just has more people in it. And I'm like, okay, I found that strange. I was like, okay, well, So, and I was looking for something different. You know, I'm one of those people like if I experience something and I like it, cool, I'll keep doing it. But if I experience something and I don't like it, I'm like, okay, let's go on to something else. And when I relocated, I didn't know what I was getting into, but I explored it. But I'm pretty much getting what I I'm pretty much getting what I already had before I moved, but it's just more crime and more expensive. And I'm like, this is not better. Like I would say that my quality of living since relocating has significantly dropped, and I don't see the value or the benefit in it for me. But also, I will say, since I relocated and got this new job, like my anxiety, my stress were through the roof. Like I've never had like consistent anxiety and stress to this level. Like almost every day I was like, am I even doing my job right? I don't know how to do my job. Like I would ask my supervisor about things, but then like I'm one of those people I like to discover, I like to explore things. So like when I get a problem, I like to figure it out. Like, oh, what is this? But it is like I never had a connection. I was very detached, disassociated from the job all the time. So I had a lot of signs. Like I would have a lot of like computer issues. We use Microsoft at my job, so like Microsoft will always be glitching. Like Microsoft glitches all the time, but the level to where it would malfunction or glitch was like weird. You know, like when something is meant for you, like it's going to flow a little bit easier. It's not going to be a lot of hiccups, not going to be a lot of challenges and obstacles. It's going to flow. A lot of things were not flowing. Um, yeah, I was receiving a lot of signs, and that like amplified my depression. Like I was in a place where like I wasn't like fully out of my depression before I relocated, but like I was able to use tools and resources to get me to a place where I was okay. So about a few months to about a year, the start of my new job, I was like very like down. Like I said, I knew I wanted to quit like within 6 months of working at my job. Like I knew like I needed to get out. Like I needed to leave. And that was my plan. But um like I was still experiencing a lot of signs of depression, and it really put me back into a spiral. I felt in this time when this happened, I felt very lost and confused because this at this point I was like, I knew I wanted to not be in my field or industry. So I was like, okay, maybe this has to be the time when I leave my field because I just can't keep doing this. I'm in a job that that I'm not good at. As I said, I took some of these courses in university. I was not good at it. Like my grade proved I wasn't good at it. And I'm like, okay, this is the time because now you're in a job that like you're not even good at, and you know the skills and knowledge you need to start your own business. You have that already. So like, let's try to do this. But there was a lot that was going on, like things, and like, oh, back to the signs of things getting worse. Like my hair started to fall out, like right here in the front started to fall out, like thinning. Like I can show you like pictures or videos of like my hair thinning. And having my hair thin or something, or having my hair like have issues is not new for me, but like the fact that I didn't notice and the fact that it was happening right at the height of like the stress and anxiety I was feeling with my job, I was like, yeah, that's definitely job related, like no question. Um, because like what else could it be? And because of that, that brings me to the point of my video. So for the past 2 years, I have been increasingly feeling more anxious, feeling more unmotivated, sad. And I'm at a point where I want to stop. I want to get out of this feeling. I want to get out of this episode. I want to get out of this funk. So, this is my attempt to get out of my depressive funk. This is my chance to say, I realize that I am depressed. I have anxiety. I'm dealing with anxiety. I'm unmotivated. I'm feeling sad. But this is my time to be like, hey, like, I know I'm going through things, but you got to get out of here because you have goals and dreams. Like, this do something about it. This is the time. So this brings me to my whole point of the video. Okay. I am going to share my steps of how I'm going to get out of my depressive funk. And I want to use my steps as a guide for other people who need help as well. If they find themselves in a depressive funk, hopefully what I'm doing can be helpful for other people. So the way I have it set up in my brain is I'm going to have it in 4 sections. So I'm going to have it in acceptance. I'm going to have self-care. I'm going to have community and connection. I'm going to have maintenance. So first for acceptance is realizing that you are in a period of being unmotivated, um, lack of desire to do anything. And as I said through my story, I've already recognized and accepted that I am in a depressive funk. So check mark to stage 1. So the next stage is self-care. So you know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to break these videos up because some of them may be kind of long. I know self-care may be a little bit long. Follow me as I take this active and intentional steps to get out of my depressive funk. And to add to that, let me show you. I literally just got a bill for medical services, like preventative medical services, $999. Like, really? Like, I'm literally trying to come up with a plan to get out of my depressive funk, and I just got a bill for $999. That's not going to help. I'm so confused about healthcare, about insurance. Like, I live in a country that's literally just a business, and all they care about is how much money I spend. So that is a level of acceptance that you may have to get as well. So realize what type of country you live in. Do they care about their citizens or not? If they don't, there might be a chance you might be depressed. So